Good evening, good evening. Good evening. What's up, Shane? Australia. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in from there. Whew. What a show. Hey, Brian. Leanne, we asked what we could without it going into other things. There was stuff that we discussed to me that weren't softball questions, but we did the best that we could do. I'm sure there's other questions that you guys would want answered or other theories, but it's just a little bit different. Hey, Terry. Yeah, what a show. But we can talk more about the Sirius radio station and other stuff that's going on. And other people, trying to do 2 shows a week. We're trying to get more guests on. We have stuff lined up. It's just about getting people locked in. Although I'm thinking with things closing down, they probably may have more time to do stuff. Hi. What's up, Marina? What's up, Sarah? What's up, Andre? Although Andre didn't get the question that he wanted answered. Just some things. Hey, Charlotte. Yes, Marcus, and that was a Dallas glass. So there you go with that. Jack's saxophone performance most people in the world. It was Brian Gallagher, and there was one by Eric Leeds. Brian Gallagher passed away in 2016. But his version, I believe, is the one that people know more than the Eric Leeds version that's on the Get Wild single. Released after that. So cool, Sean. Yeah, the Sirius channel being back until August, so you have it for another month. I don't know if it's ever going to be permanent, but at least you guys have that. Yeah. Pamela, I knew that there was going to be some stuff like that, so I was kind of ignoring it, but allowing you guys to talk. We have someone that I'm very grateful for, that's cleaning up the comments of that stuff right now, at least on the Facebook side of stuff. So you have these things, but the main thing is wanting to have a better show for you guys. You need to have different guests on that some other people may not invite on or have on. And I appreciate Van for taking the time for that. Of course, that's why I enjoy having people like Andre on and people that I've been reaching out to have on, because there's not as much there's more joy from you guys about it, and that's what it comes down to. No, it isn't, Leanne. It isn't about deleting comments I don't like. It's about bringing up stuff about, other things, not me, because I'm not the one that's deleting it. It's just if it's inappropriate or stuff like that. I like to have people be free. That's what it goes on. So, yeah, that's all. It has nothing to do with trying to censor it. It's just we knew that there was going to be a little bit difficultness going on with that stuff. So I don't know how much is going to be done. I don't like rewatching the shows. If they're getting into it with other people or trying to do other things, that's when it becomes problematic. So, and yes, we're always trying to teach stuff that's new. And I did see Ruth bring up a name that's interesting that I'd love to have on to be able to tell their side of things. And I think that's important, is we sometimes have some revisionist history going on. I want to sometimes call it Prince and the Revisionist. And we need to kind of take care of that. And I do feel that people that have stories to tell, you got to give it to them, but at the same time, make sure that it stays on point. Marina's saying, keeping it in the light, what everyone should do. I love the positive side of things and the positive stories shared. If you feed me the negativity, it only brings everyone down. Exactly. And I'll just highlight that as well. But those are the things that we try to do. And there's sometimes so much negativity going on in so many different things. Right. Susan, I don't know. I may have been at those times or seen that. I try not to go back and watch the shows. I know that's something that other people do. I hate looking at myself. I hate listening to myself. Right now, I'm not even looking at the screen or even looking at the TV that has your comments on a bigger level, because I don't like seeing myself. If other people want to do it, then that's something. Do I think we'll get another track from Sign of the Times Deluxe before September? Before September? How about before the release? Yes, I do believe they will have those things. Yeah, and the thing about the Purple City Mill, it was about Amara. He has discussed things like that, so that was interesting to hear him talk about. Andre, there's always drama going on online. I just choose not to be a part of it. Ken, I've kind of dissed Elvis sometimes as well when I say that Paisley Park is far funkier than Graceland will ever be. So you can't criticize stuff like that. Thank you, Leslie. Yeah. You know, I did ask certain questions just about the will and about how he feels like going forward, how things can be done, because I'm sure there was like a point of unhappiness that was going on. So do I think we will ever hear Black is the New Black? Yes. When that will be? Eventually. But I think I saw Adrian Crutchfield bring up a great point, an amazing point. And, you know, if you guys aren't sharing this yet, go ahead and share it if you want. But with Adrian, the Sirius Radio playing Liv, playing Shelby, playing Third Eye Girl, and a bunch of these other people that he worked with would be amazing, you know. So that's what I think. Yeah. Pamela, thank you for that. Yeah, with Shelby, Hannah, Ruth, and Dave. You know, I do appreciate that. And I talked with Dave after the show and was texting with Ruth, because I don't think Ruth has been in here before, and I want her to know it isn't usually like that. But, you know, we got to make sure that people that work for them, like Ruth, like Karen Sharma, that these people, they have a story to tell, and that they're able to kind of like through that, you guys get to know him more, and then not feed off of interviews that are publicized from 1985 more so than where he was thinking in 2006 or 2011. And the whole thing is you know, I was a part of a certain time period, but I always reach back to people who aren't part of that, because if they played a part in Prince's life and it's an important part, their story needs to be told. And I personally, from experience of knowing Ruth, I feel that she hasn't gotten the credit that she has deserved on a lot of stuff through the 31-21 era and going forward, that she played a role in that album hitting #1 and those house parties becoming legendary status. And there's so much more that she did as well. And, you know, I want you guys to know that. I want you to experience other people that may not have gotten the limelight. But I love Adrian. I love how truthful he is about stuff. And he brought up a good point about having their music. And I don't know if you have Adrian's CDs, but his stuff, it always comes up in my car. And it's like, I want to bug him. And like, because I've already done it where I put on my Instagram stories, I wanted to bug him like, hey man, loving this too, because I put everything on shuffle, and Adrian's tracks come up a lot. Yeah. Yeah. And then here's Dave with a good comment. If you guys aren't seeing it, the challenge becomes when many of us want to know what happened or find out why the unanswered stuff from around his passing reviews negative or going down on that road. Rather right to question any aspect of the messed up story and messed up people who did messed up stuff. Sorry, I'm passionate, but I'm making observations. Exactly. And it's understandable, you know, that those questions will be answered in time. Yeah. See, we have to get me on Questlove status, then we can get Ruth on the show. That's why I always joke about with her. But Ruth is amazing. Dave is amazing. And like Dave and Scotty, wanting you guys to know who they are and needing to, you know, that their story should be told and how important it was and all other stuff going on. So Ruth is my hero. She needs an entire session of how she dealt with it all and so many work in my way. Man, Ruth wore so many jackets and so many hats. It's just ridiculous. And I was glad that she confided in me to help her out. But she did a lot of stuff on her own and had so much on her plate that I was more than willing to want to help her out with. And I would take a little stuff. She would have a gigantic plate, just be a little. And I appreciate that she trusted in me and brought me on, because who knows what would have happened, but she made things happen quicker for me that without her would happen. And Ruth was more than an assistant. Ruth was a manager. She may have gotten certain credit that she deserved, but for real, like she played an important part. I mean, his last #1 album, and there's so much stuff that took to make that deal happen and to get Tamar that deal, that basically the exact same deal that Prince had for a new artist, which was amazing. What about Questlove? Just that we have to get me on the same status as him so we can get like the major guest, and that's what I'm working on. From how things look here, from the presentation of the show to having a tie, try to do everything we can to make stuff go. Darnell possibly in time, but with what's going on, I think that we just need to concentrate on other things, and they need to get some stuff worked out. I think if they do it. Yeah, Kimberly, Ruth has a lot of stories. Like this is gonna be like the Ruth show. We just talk about Ruth a lot. Like her stories are so fun. And I'm telling you, like that's a book that I am looking forward to. And I feel for Ruth, it needs to be done for so many different reasons. I don't know if you guys have been like paying attention about what's going on with the court stuff, but I was kind of like reading up on some stuff from that, and it gave out some interesting things. Like not only did it read like a press release, but they talked about like his music being in an upcoming HBO show. And then they mentioned something about carpool karaoke. I would imagine that's going to be a celebrity carpool karaoke show. But I did see that was mentioned in the court document. So if that was supposed to be a surprise, it wasn't redacted. So thank you, Grace, for that. Questlove years ago, when we originally started doing the show in 2013, before I was doing a podcast in 2016, Quest did agree to be on the show, but he didn't want to talk about bootlegs. I'm like, dude, we have so much more to talk about than that. So I would love to have Quest on. You know, while I'm on, well, don't mention what I don't know if Van, if he was talking about Quest in that, but I'm cool with Questlove, and there's just a respect from you know, from a musical standpoint from where he comes from, because he hears different things that a lot of people don't hear when it comes to Prince's music and other things. That's why, you know, you see him before quarantine and after quarantine, you would see him like performing with other musicians and being able to play the drums and know that, and probably doing only rehearsals like once or twice that day to know the music of the acts he's doing. Yeah. It does read like a press release, Dave. Like, I'm just like, wow. But there's reasons for that. Torre, we've talked before. We haven't talked about being on each other's shows. You know, I hear that his Susanna interviews are really great, and we are thinking of other people to have. All right, cool. Hopefully that's right, Susan, about him not trying to be disrespectful to Quest. Elizabeth, yes. So, yeah, Michelle Anthony brokered term deals with Warner Brothers in 2006 in regards to releasing the masters. Yes, and that's, I've already reached out to Ruth that I want to get Michelle Anthony on, and I want to make that happen. So let's be in Ruth's ear about that, not just me. You know, like me and Quest talked one time, and it was an amazing conversation, and just being able to talk about music. And there's things that we probably wouldn't talk about here, but you know, we could still make work. So I appreciate Quest. Quest is one of my heroes in my sense. You know, would I talk with Apollonia? Yes. We tried to have her on in 2013. She was busy at the time, but you know, she has a story to tell, Dave. And that's why I feel Apollonia's got a story to tell. Apollonia, Maite, Manuela. I'd love to have Manuela on. There's other stuff. Femi would be awesome. But yeah, so it's just about, you know, Leanne, there isn't so much controversy when we have other guests like we have Andre on. And it's just about not having to worry about other stuff happening or going on. You know, sometimes it's hard doing this stuff just with you guys because there's reporters that come in here and they're asking questions, and instead of being good journalists, they're looking for me to mess up to give them something to write about. And I'm not going to do that. And that's what it comes down to, is about, you know, Prince put me in a role of trust. And as you see, there's certain lines that I walk that if I chose sides, it would make things a lot easier. But at the same time, Prince wanted me to be able to reach out to different people and to, I guess, be Switzerland in a way, but just be able to have that contact with them and be able that their show would, their story could be told. So yes, Pamela, there has been a couple reporters. So, right. And Lenny, that their stories are important and not all of them have been able to tell it. There's been a large focus of just something in a certain time period. And we have to make sure that's done. Exactly, Maria. That's where I go on, is I want to hear the stories of that's going. And I missed it with Van, of asking him like if there was any pranks that Prince played on him, you know, which would be interesting, you know, Prince trying to get political or be like Van or get the glasses or something would be interesting. But yeah, but that's what I have to worry about sometimes, is when doing the shows with you guys about these people coming in and trying to do stuff. Who's retired? Can I have a dance? I'm gonna no. I can dance, Dave. Hopefully I can do the splits in the future again. I haven't been trying that, but I'm getting down to that level where I think I can do it. I just don't want to mess up my hips. Neil Carlin. Neil will be on. We haven't even discussed it yet, but Neil will be on. And that will probably be a show that'll rival having Scotty on in 3-hour marathon shows, because Neil can talk. And we've had conversations face to face where it's just gonna be 15 minutes and then it's 4 freaking hours. But Neil's book, I'm very much looking forward to. I'm sure his editor was looking forward to reading that and having to go through everything that Neil was putting down for years. So, but Neil was who is used like before me in a more professional sense, because he wrote for Rolling Stone and Prince trusted him multiple times to interview him. So Neil was already worried about me slamming or trashing the book because he said some things with CJ, and y'all know CJ, before Prince passed, and I wasn't cool with. But look, everyone makes mistakes and they do stuff, and that's Neil's thing to do. But from the conversations I had with Neil after that and the other experiences, thanks to my friend Lori, they've been nothing but positive and nothing but stuff that you should know about. And that's it. Iris, it's all good. You can take off your boxing gloves for this one. So, yeah. Ask Neil to please play some of the recordings he has of Prince speaking. Yes, I'll ask Neil if he wants to do that, if he feels comfortable. Like, we'd love to have it. I love Scotty, how he does Prince's voice. We got to have Fred on to talk about, to talk like Prince too. I wish I could do a Prince voice. I can do even Jimmy Fallon's Prince isn't that bad. His Donald Trump's better. But yeah, you're curious about. Yeah, I try to always keep it cool. I just don't like it when there's people in there fishing for stuff when we're doing the one-on-one stuff like now. I knew that today the comments are gonna be a little bit crazy, and that's why I kept on to my own questions or just look for Dave for stuff. So yes, give Neil that link instead of the Amazon so you get a little bit more of the profits. But I'm definitely looking forward to Neil's book, and we're gonna have to push it hard because a lot of books that are coming out this year are probably not going to be financially successful because of what's going on in the world. So, yeah. And Prince always, Andrea, with the part where he spoke about how Prince donated money and didn't want it to be known, unfortunately for him, because I was going through some pretty bad medical issues in 2012. And my medical bills and other stuff was taken care of by him. I'm sure that he kind of wanted it in a different way to where it wouldn't be found out, but I've always been very thankful for that. And then when I would see him or whatnot, he'd always ask me how's my health doing and stuff like that. And then I would be going to Paisley for a show, and then someone would be like, "Oh man, there's people lining up for the after show," and they follow Funkenberry. Dude, all right, sorry, man. Ken, yeah, I'm not going to your store this week now for that comment, and no plug for the Sign of Time set. Yes, all the beautiful things about P. That's what it's about. Let me turn back. We'll try to recreate. Oh, the purple chairs. Yeah. So yes, that app would have been cool. And that's something I think Josh would have known more about, but we were kind of I probably could have kept Josh longer. But it just gives us a reason to have Josh and Hannah back on to talk about it. They know more about the app and other things. That's what it comes down to. Would I have Sheila on? Yes. Me, I have no issue. Like I said, with people, I don't try to get caught up in their drama. And that's how Prince wanted me to be able to reach out to people. There's times where me and Sheila probably weren't cool, but we still ended up being it. And that's it. Is you guys would have to understand stuff. Prince would fight his battles. He didn't need other people fighting his battles for them. And regardless of him, Prince and Sheila not being close in the past few years of his life, when he performed in the Bay Area in 2013 and 2014, he brought up Sheila's name. That's my sister. They weren't talking at the time, but that was it. And Prince would learn to forgive people and these other things. So it's all good, Kim. Not taking it that way at all. So Marina, the app was something that Prince was apparently working on for his music to be put on during the Third Eye Girl era, and probably selling tickets to his shows through the app, through stuff that way. I do know during that time there was an initiative, and I'd love to have the person on that was part of behind that, but he doesn't think that you guys would be interested in the story, and I don't think that's true. That about the onempg.org, and that there was going to be like the vault opening up, and like there was like, you know, I would run it or whatever. The fans would pick the tracks and other stuff. But fans were not open to the idea, or fans were not open to the idea because they felt kind of screwed over by Lotus Flower, and they felt kind of screwed over by the, you know, the $25 membership for MPGMC for life. That's another reason why we need like Sam Jennings on and other stuff like that, is for him to go into other conversations that they had. So yeah. What's Joseph Vogel. I wonder if Neil knows that. And Joseph's book's been out for a while. So yeah. But just understand that the reason that I choose people and I do stuff is I want a better show for you guys. I want to have the names that we have had, but future names that we haven't. And you got to do these things in order to make the show more professional, more clear. I've worked on myself, even though I won't watch my show or look at it, because like I said, I don't like listening to myself. I don't like looking at myself. But I will watch other talk shows and see how they enunciate and how they do stuff, because I felt for a time I would be too quick on things. I learned through that. So yeah, let's see. Pamela, wasn't clear in the current state of Yes We Code. It isn't. I think it belongs part of the Dream Corps, but it's taking longer than they thought. And of course, that's something I wanted to bring up when Prince performed in Baltimore, that he said the next time that I come here, I want you guys to be owning the hotels, to be running the businesses here. That's what we have to do with the future. So, thank you, Bob, for that comment. Yes, change is good. That's how you have to look at things. And I'm going to be going through my desktop of the old shows from 2013 where you just saw my face. And I wear sunglasses because people would be talking about the bags underneath my eye thinking I was looking high, although it's just natural. And even with a light and makeup, you can still see it, because I don't know how to do that stuff myself. But you're trying to learn in quarantine. I learned a lot of stuff in quarantine, and here's hoping for different reasons that I'm able to continue doing that, with having to be forced to be inside because of my diabetes and other stuff. I didn't sit on my ass. My DVR before COVID was at 89% free. It's now in the 20s. So I'm spending more time on trying to do stuff and make things happen. Now, if I can learn how to put together a TV stand and a different modem, that'd probably help me out too. So bags of back 5 years later. Well, then I ain't doing it then, Susie. I'll just keep trying to use the docs gave me and maybe like burn some skin off. But I've had these since I was like 4 years old. So yeah, Sam, I'd love to have on. I need to reach out to him. That's the whole thing, is I need to also reach out to other people, because I was going to have Afshin on again, but I'm sure with what was going on in the world, because I wanted like a special one night alone special. We were able to get Scotty on for that. I also wanted Sam on, and I wanted Afshin on, and then have all of them together afterwards. So leasing it through, we briefly spoke on an app in January 16, and he asked me if the app is on run by Millman. I said no. Hit me up privately, Marina. That stuff. So I'm not reading it out publicly, but I'm sorry if I'm putting that out there. But you can keep putting it out there. I didn't mean anything at all. So no, Iris, with that. And it's just like, yeah, thanks, Dave, for doing that. All right, Rachel. So you come to my house in 10 minutes. Oh, wait, that's not going to happen. I guess seriously, when people are trying to tell you how to do their makeup when you've never done it before and you're having to go to stores, like I went to Target and the security person was following me around because me being in makeup. And I'm just like, it was a female. I go, hey, can you help me out with this? And then she was like, well, if she wants this or she wants that, I didn't want to tell her it was for me. But, you know, I try to do all these things. Like I said, I have to be more presentable. That's part of the reason for getting in shape and losing the weight and doing other stuff. And I still am not satisfied with things. Maybe if the camera was higher, you know, look better. But it's all locked up to the TV, so can't do that. We're having it back. Or just sitting back and just doing these things. Yeah, large elephant. Thank you, Dee. I appreciate it. Got more work to do. You know, lost a little bit of muscle mass in quarantine, not being able to go to the gym and use all the equipment they have. And even though you have stuff at home, like you have distractions. And it's not the DVR, that's for sure. Yes, Andre's wife was here. I've already reached out to her to thank her for being in. I don't think Ruth will be soon, Ginger and you guys. So probably closer to her book, but I'd love to have her on. Like even Dave, you know, graciously said they could have both of us on. So maybe I'll take a little bit of pressure off of Ruth, but I would love for that to happen. I owe a lot to Ruth. I owe a lot to Karen. I owe a lot to Julia. But most importantly, it's just Ruth for bringing me in. And who knows what would have happened. But I'm eternally grateful for that. No matter what anyone says, you know, people will be like, oh, you don't talk about this person a lot. You may not see them a lot. The thing is with Ruth, I've always had her back behind her back. And she may not know that, and that's fine. But I'm not just going to be nice to her face, you know, but she's done a lot. And I will defend her, and that's why I want her book to come out, is because she deserves it. Her stories are funny, and she's got like a lot of stuff that would be very therapeutic for her to get out, and I think you guys would really appreciate it. So I'm not changing, I'm just improving and being the person that I always thought I was in the mirror. But thank you. Your cat always wants your attention in the morning. I don't have any cats or dogs. I feel that I would neglect them. Probably like, you know, if I had a girlfriend, what do? You like, do you put them in a corner? Do you feed them? What do you do? Yes, Rhonda Smith would be good. Like there's some stuff, I can't talk about it yet, but there's going to be a really cool thing that's going to be happening. And don't think that we forgot about Chance and what's going on. That's not the case. But we will be having some specials coming up about that. And, you know, it'll be great. And Rhonda is a monster on that bass. That's all I can say about that. So get on stage and dance. Like, look, Sean, we can have those when we're doing after shows or other stuff, because when we were doing the 2013 show, we were bringing in fans, and we had someone named Jesse and Jester, and Jesse became someone in the Prince world. Like, you know, Prince was already on Jesse and his radar when we bring him in, and then, you know, it was Jesse never saw Prince in concert, and we were able to. Prince was playing South by Southwest. And I'm all like, you know, Jesse doesn't live too far from that. And then like Julia was like, I know. And then I was like, she's like asking for his email. And I'm like, you're going to invite him? And she's like, yeah. Well, wait, let's do it live on the show. Let's bring him on and surprise him and announce on the show. And we have that clip. My former co-host, Seth, probably has that from 2013. Fish would be cool. No, Pamela, I wore, in all honesty, this tie has been out for several months on one of the nightstands by my bed. And then, I was wanting, like, do I wear a suit today? Do I wear this? Do I wear that? So I was like, all right, well, black shirt with a tie, even though it's kind of hot. And that tie was already sitting there and was folded. So I brought it on. Let's see. Cassandra would be amazing. So, yeah. Marina, that was fun. And see, Jesse, that's what we want to do. And that was the whole thing is like, Julia would be bombarded with stuff. And I want, look, let's do it live on the show. And then she told P about it and he's like, yes. So I believe from what Shelby has said before, like they were all watching the show and to see like Jesse's reaction when we at the end announced he was going to be on, because we're like, man, it sucks that you're not going to be there. It sucks. It's like not that far from you. And it's a private event. But we're doing that. Yes. See, Dave's telling the stuff, but we will, the PRN alumni is definitely doing something to benefit Chance. You already saw that they put a thing out that we are going to be involved with that at some extent. Don't want to get into it more, but we're going to be helping out Chance big time. And I just wanted to do that, No, we didn't coordinate on purpose. Like when because I do like to test beforehand, and like Van was on kind of like 10 minutes before, and he was kind of in a blue mood. I'm like, all right, dude, we gotta like clear this up. But yeah, he was just wearing the black shirt. I was kind of surprised because I felt like, wow, how many people can say that they were better dressed than someone that's on TV all the time in the suits that they wear. So that's why you got to do shows like this. And I try to be the professional thing because, hey, it'd be great to have a show one time that says like Funkenberry or Jeremiah's wardrobe provided by blah. Of course, right now I'm like on a budget, so it'd be Men's Warehouse. But be nice one time. Got to get my Calvin Klein suits fitted because they don't fit me as well anymore. But thank God I got them in November and made sure that they were smaller. So the adjustments suits I got last year won't fit me anymore. Like the purple. Well, purple is a good color. Should have been wearing it before 4/21/16. Yeah, we're looking out for Chance, and just putting out this stuff for it. Yeah, Cody. I think he did that like one time, right? Cody, he did play that funky music. I think. Aside from being in the band, I think he was on the stage with Prince more than anyone, unless you were in the band. He did play that funky music at the Tonight Show, at the Forum Run, at Tower Records, the Rio. Just ridiculous. I haven't seen Andy in a while. Usually we talk face to face. But I would love to have her on the show. But again, these are the things that you have to make this show bigger, because I think someone like Andy, she doesn't want to be pigeonholed into the Prince thing. And she's doing so many good things right now, and all that. When I saw her last year, she's like, oh, I'm about to do Chicago Fire, keep it in refs. I'm like, I'm not going to say nothing until you make the announcement. So, yeah. And she wears purple. She's having on the show. Yeah, and Andy is just heaven, period, when you watch her Music Mondays and other stuff. Any collaborations with me and the state happening in terms of what their future plans are releasing material? You talk about loaded questions or whatnot. I would love to be involved, is all I can say. And it isn't about thinking that you know better than others. It's just that you listen to things and you had conversations, things that they're doing. So, and what's new with Sirius Station back for only 1 month? Do you think they're testing the waters for a possible permanent Prince channel? You should see the court documents on that, of it being brought up and stuff of that. Are in touch with the folks at Sirius. You should have a weekly show there. Thank you. I appreciate that compliment. In 2013, we were trying to get that show on through Sirius for Prince. And I'll go back to the Sirius thing in a minute. Whereas around Prince and Andy, yeah, I would see them being playing with each other. Like one time, I think I told this before, we were at the Sayers Club, and then Prince was wearing this gray, kind of like ratty sweater, like a Steve Carell sweater that he wears instead of a suit. And Prince sits next to me. He's like, Andy's making fun of me. I'm like, what's going on? And he's all like, she said my sweater looks like Mr. Rogers. And, Prince, like, I'm like, wow, those are fighting words. And then Prince is all like, he bit his lip and like at her. And then she did it back. It was kind of cute. So, yes. And with Sirius, the things that they wanted before from Prince when he was here was ridiculous. And the things I've heard that they wanted afterwards, it's just they want too much, and Prince would never have that. And I feel like a lot of our shows could be on Sirius, whether it's Dean or other people. Of course, we probably have to play by the rules a little bit more, to where there's no scandalous stuff going on, like with Nick Cannon, and then being taken in a different direction. But I felt that there's places for us, but of course they made their own Prince podcast. And look, I have nothing but love and respect for Andrea Swenson. It seems like a waste of resources when you have these other things going on. And are you trying to save money, or are you trying to spend money? But I enjoy Andrea on so many different levels. It's just doing that. And of course, her being with Sirius, and she had a relationship with Prince as well before he passed, since I didn't take up the offer to go to the Dakota shows. But everything happens for a reason, and I'm glad that it happened, because it was supposed to be the way that it's supposed to happen. That's how I look at it, at least. Chris Moon, perhaps Pepe, perhaps. We're going to be having someone else on as well. I just have to get it locked down, and maybe we can have Owen join that person. So they played the same songs every few hours. That's the whole thing. It sounded like when VH1 has an all Prince day, and then it's like 3 hours of the same stuff, and you have so much more to go on. But I do feel it was done last minute. They're in a pandemic. They're trying to figure out ways to reach an audience. So they know Prince is a popular artist. But we have to get those social media things up quicker. I mean, I think that the Prince social media game, Instagram, not including TikTok at that time, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, it's just under 3 million likes. When you have Elvis having 12 million on there, there's got to be different things to bring up those numbers in different aspects. So, I just constantly have to think on Virginia. When you say bring on some ladies, you're talking about Rhonda, or you're talking about other things. President Alexa plays Purple Current even if you're not a mini. That's pretty cool, Pamela, to know that. Have some of his photographers on. Yeah, I would love. We've had Afshin on before. During those court documents, I was kind of surprised to see Steve's name on there, and Madison, I'm surprised too. But photographers, it's interesting you say that. That's all I'm going to say. So, what about Bria Valente? I don't think she's been crazy silent since a few years before he passed and other stuff. I just think that that's a part of her life that she doesn't want to talk about. So, yeah. Yes, and Elisa, those things that you're talking about with Maya Rudolph and others, those are great, and hopefully they're going to be repeating those. So, Hannah, yeah. Donna. In time, Donna hasn't done too much. Susan would be a good guest as well. Yeah. Ida. Yes. We've tried before, and then our times wouldn't line up on stuff, but I don't see why not. You know, I need to like focus and have like 2 days where I'm just reaching out to people and getting dates locked in. So, never heard who speak. Ida, probably talking about the bass. And I loved when we had Spreecast because Andre would come on and play an instrument and play some stuff, and you wouldn't have to worry about copyright stuff. So it's like we have to worry about that with Facebook and YouTube and these other things. So let's see. Wow, 7 notifications, but it's all different stuff. So yeah, sorry, just not trying. Yeah, Apollonia. Hey, Alex, what's going on, man? I believe I met you last year, right? At that place in Sherman Oaks benefit before Christmas for Toys for Children to drive for that. I believe you were there. Yeah. Yeah. So TikTok. You guys been watching that TikTok stuff? For the Prince stuff I'm talking about, just in case Dave is still in the room. So. All right. So. Concert footage together and like analyze expressions and interactions, man. Look, see the toy drive. Thank you for doing that, Alex. That was pretty cool. What's up, Dorothy Inez? Pamela and Jill Jones showing up and speaking on things. Man, if we had Jill on the show, yeah, that would be an amazing episode. We gotta make that happen. And I saw that she came in when Andre was on. That's pretty cool of her. I hope that she had a great birthday. So Tavis would have to be someone to have on as well. Tavis has a story to tell, but again, there'll be other people wanting to talk about certain things. We want to talk about the relationship that Tavis had with Prince and other things going on. That's what we try to do with Van. We ask questions here. Morris owes us. He should be on the show. And they're doing a Funk Corona too, right? Man, if he can do Good Day LA, he can do Funkaberry. Because I think we get more viewers than Good Day LA gets right now. Because KTLA whooping that booty. Yeah. Jill, amazing. Yes, Wendy and Lisa. And you know what? I'd love to have them on separately so they can tell their different stories. 100%. And, you know, there's other things that we're going to be doing. And that's why if you saw tonight's show, it was called What's Up, Doc? Because we're going to be doing that. If it was up to me, we would be doing 5 shows a week. 1 Prince show on Wednesday, and then there'd be 5 other shows and be What's Up, Doc, which would be an entertainment show. We're talking about new music coming out and trailers for movies when movies open back up and other things going on. But to have other guests on that aren't from the Prince spectrum, because I want to branch out. But of course, you know, to have Maya Rudolph on and share Prince stories would be great, but have these other things. Yes, Cora, you know, we were supposed to have something, all of us happen, Dave. Yeah, we need to get Cora on. I need to make that happen. Like I said, I need to have like 2 days where I just concentrate on getting people lined up and avoid everyone else hitting me up, and they'll probably just think I'm being rude. But so Cienza, I'd have to actually read Chick's book to know about that stuff. That title. So, all right, Sean, have a good night. We'll be wrapping it up soon. You know, we could do this for hours, but you know. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the person who introduced the time and the revolution to Funkaberry. You know, I believe his name gets a shout out on Pandemonium, right? Dave Chappelle, yeah, you're not the only one dreaming. Like, I've been reaching out to Dave's people for a while now, just to have him on the show, just to talk about Prince and his love and all these other things. That's why, want to do these things. Have you ever thought to create a theme show so we could flesh out a topic without worrying about people posting weird questions? I mean, it's just kind of hard because you're going to attract different people and different audiences, and sometimes they have their own agenda. And that's the whole thing is like what we're trying to do here is not have it be Prince and the Revisionist and have other stuff on. So persist in what path. Yes, Eddie Murphy, Spike Lee, like, look, this is why I'm trying to make this show bigger. And then you have guests like I had on because we want to do it and we want to turn those dreams into reality. It isn't enough, So there's not a lot of money in this, but that's why we live on the donations, and they are appreciated and other things going on. But I put a lot of energy into this because I'm hoping to make something out of it, and we won't do it. So, yeah. But, I'm not as big as you guys think. That's how we have to do it, So, this Prince community is a large one. Any plans in the pipeline to organize something for people to band together and do good things, acts of kindness and solidarity in the name of a mutual love for Prince? See, it's difficult because it should be done, but it also seems like there's other people with different agendas that we couldn't come together, or possibly it couldn't be me. It'd have to be someone else, and then me putting my support behind it, then other people putting their support behind it, because it sometimes feels that there's a lot of ego involved, and we all have to come together. That's why I'm saying a bunch of us podcasters, I'm hoping that we would have our shows on something like Sirius all together. So do I ever connect to Prince.org? I used to post under the name J7, JSEVEN. So yes, I'd have Judith Hill as a guest, but there would be people that would do the same thing they did with Van, and I want her to feel comfortable, So that's what it comes down to. So, no, it isn't. That isn't about it. But the whole thing is just like when I'm bringing up Leanne about having Judith feel comfortable about stuff. That there's certain things that, it'll come out in time, and then, they're not going to be doing it on the show, and then you guys don't get to hear the stories about Prince being such a philanthropist and other things that were important to him, So Jimmy and Terry would be great. There's supposed to be a private meeting a few years ago, but we can have it happen. I like the Prince of all people. I wish they would credit more stuff that actually came from my site, whether it was photos or information. It would be nice, and they can always update that. But it's like, I show them a lot of love. I think that a lot of us, when we're doing On This Days, we always kind of check out Prince Vault for it. So, yeah. Let's see. We do is very expensive at times, so everyone can't keep this pace up. The small group of us have kept the work going. Yes, Jill. And Jill, if you can reach out to people that I mentioned that I want to have on this show, I would appreciate it, just because I do want to have them on. They're not being ignored. It's just, during this pandemic, I've had other things distracting me. My schedule hasn't been as open as I like, not including a bunch of doctor's visits this week, but just trying to get everything going on. And yes, his life and how he lived is way more important than his passing. I agree, Rachel. That's why I always try to say through his music. So, well, Jill, let's make it happen, Captain. Carmelita didn't see a comment, but I see you in there. Yeah, that's the whole thing, is just trying to tell their story. Because good night, Carmelita. Hello and good night. And we'll be wrapping it up here shortly. And this show will probably only be on Facebook and YouTube. I don't think Chef folks are going to interrogate people about his passing. She'll want to celebrate his life achievements. Marina, do you mean like people like being able to be in the room? Because that's kind of hard to control, and I don't want to block everyone. I do, usually the conversations that we've had and the guests that we've had on, there isn't the stuff that we had today to deal with. And I knew it was going to happen, but you kind of got to go out of your comfort zone a little bit. And that's it. But if they knew about, there was, to his chagrin, so to speak, like there was nothing that was discussed that couldn't be discussed. There's stuff actually on my side that I didn't want discussed. So the whole thing is if you go after someone and then you're wanting to get other people on, you're not going to be able to get them on. And what I'm trying to do is give you guys the best show and have things go great. Good night, Elisa. Again, we'll be wrapping up. But exactly, Dean, these are why that we want to share these stories that you guys may not have known while I was here. And just have these things going on. I do believe they can, Christy. I do kind of only try to do this when it's something positive or whatnot. But yeah. So I'm sure they see it. And the whole thing is that you just have to stay on topic with it, and again, this is a different format. Van is used to being on TV, but probably not live platforms where we're having comments like that. Yeah. Thanks, Pamela. It's just like I said, I want to get more people on, and if I come with an agenda. And the whole thing is, as weird as it sounds, I'm still trying to do right by Prince, and how he would have me be is so I'd be able to have access to everyone. You have to go a certain line. And I know that may frustrate you guys, but again, I'm trying to do right by him, like, professionally. And my other things, I'm Jeremiah. But you kind of can't get those lines blurred. And let me just say about blurred lines, like that freaking fake Instagram account, like how it messes with stuff with my lithogram that people don't understand, especially when you're having guests on and you want bigger guests on. A thing like that messes with it, because as soon as someone follows me, they see this account being suggested, and it's not me. And Instagram really needs to get their act together, but I'm doing everything I can with trademark and other stuff. But so thank you, Pamela, for understanding it. And that's it. It's like, look, Prince was trying to get me more comfortable in front of the camera. In 2013, doing the show I was doing, and then flying out to Paisley and wanting me to interview acts outside Paisley. And then all I saw in that clip was me going like this, talking with people, asking them questions. I didn't have a microphone in my hand, but I wasn't used to doing it. So I was folding my arms, just like you're seeing it. Like, yeah, I have the drink here from time to time, but I'm not on CNN. I'm trying to be more professional, not touching my face, not doing other stuff that makes me feel more comfortable. But that's where it comes down to, is that he was wanting me to be more comfortable in front of the camera because this is what he wanted me to do. But, that's why I want to look a certain way and be a certain way, and I'm not there yet. If I wear like a baseball hat, I get that going on. Hold on a second. Okay, we'll wear the one from the Twins game. So, because I think I look better in hats. But, probably not this one. I could probably go with the black one. Paid advertising, we're trying to keep stuff being free. So that's what it comes down to. But that's something we may have to look into, because as much as we want to keep it free and keep these other things, you need donations to be able to make that happen. And I know that we're going through a pandemic and other stuff right now. So, it makes it tough. And I know they're going through a hard time and they have stuff with Chance. I don't want to be hitting up people like for our donations. And sometimes people are fighting battles that no one knows about. And, that's what it comes down to, is I'm a pretty private person. And, some stuff has been public and some stuff I don't want. Thank you, Marina. I'm trying to do the best I can. Can I get verified on Instagram? I am trying. Every month I apply. And see, now with the pandemic, they have even less people working there. So I'm trying to do something with a lawyer that will get me going there. It's an interesting question, Leanne, but it's just as well as, like I said, you're looking for future guests and you're just restarting out and trying to get bigger names on. So, but yeah, trying to get verified. That's what I want. Do I think COVID has helped you get more video interviews? I believe so, but it also seems like people are busy. Like they're like doing what I'm doing, to where you're not just sitting on the couch. Like I gave myself a huge project when this all first started to get stuff done and to have clarity and have space to be more, how do I put it, productive and more show a different side of your creativity. And I will say this, my music writing and stuff and songwriting has kind of suffered, because that would be at 3 o'clock in the morning when you have other things, but now you're doing stuff to preoccupy yourself during the day. So it's just a little bit different. I may be hard on myself. I guess I'm my own biggest critic from time to time, but I'm proud of where I've come so far, but I'm not done by a stretch of the means. So whether it's getting guests on, whether it's building more muscle or doing other things, those are all things that I try to do, which probably makes it hard to date me, because I try to have the business and everything come first. You thought I was a bot. No, people thought I was originally Prince. That's what even Josh said a few weeks ago. He was my favorite band member since 78 to 2016. That's not fair. It's like having me pick one of his favorite songs. Peace, Virginia. I'm sorry, I should be wrapping it up so you guys don't feel like you're missing anything. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to talk with Paisley Knights about why the season just happened. I would just imagine it happened for the music, although there are other DJs. How old do I look, Leanne? Because I ain't answering that question. And don't try to go by, well, he was around at this time. Not how old do I look? That's what you got to go on. Let me just say, I attract a lot younger people, and then the older women, not so much, because they think I'm a baby. He's a baby. That's the baby. Anyway. Timestamps, sometimes I can see tweets and were changed. I don't know if they were changed, but the thing that happens is someone logged in, not from Minnesota, but say logged in from New York or logged in from LA, and that was the last time they logged in, or that's who is doing the tweeting, or the last time they logged in, it changes the timestamp. Just like when you're on Facebook, it does the same thing where it'll be 3 hours before or 3 hours after. So it's probably someone that logged into the account or is running it and is not from Minnesota. That's where I think it is. It isn't about changing that. That's what I think. My day job. See, now we're getting more into the Jeremiah aspect of stuff, Ginger. You can DM me privately on that one. Good night. How did I mean Prince? It'll be a long story, but I was doing stuff behind the scenes for a while, and Ruth made that happen more so. And I enjoy doing stuff behind the scenes more and interacting with Ruth and others than being direct with him, because I'd have friends that worked for Prince, and then they ended up not getting along with him or hating him. And I didn't want that to happen. So for as long as I could, I delayed meeting him and would just talk through other people. And I like that. At one point, people would call me like the digital Claire Fisher, because they never really worked together. But of course, that happened. Yeah. Well, it could have been for unreleased material being played. Eddie, will I be back to Paisley for the tour? Yes, but me having a compromised immune system, I'm kind of worried about that. I was offered, whatever, but other things, it's just, got to be safe, and people aren't caring about everyone else. Whether it's wearing a mask on a plane and not social distancing. I don't want to be on a plane, there's someone next to me and they're coughing. I have to worry about things differently. And you remember when people go on flights and then they get sick like a week later? You have all that coughing and other stuff going on now. And people don't want to wear the mask. Like, it's just, look, we all can wear the freaking mask. The sooner we can get rid of this stuff. Do I like wearing a mask? No. The only thing I'll say about it is, like, when people piss you off, they can't. When you're saying they can't see it underneath the mask. That's about it. So I just feel like I'm glad that Paisley is open, but it is a tourist destination, and you have people wanting to travel for it. I do see they have a bunch of billboards around Minnesota now, and I'm hoping that is working to some extent of more than just people taking photos of it, that they're actually going to Paisley. So there's no time off working for P according to former hours. Exactly, and that's how I feel. Like, my sleep, I tell people I don't sleep, I nap. Get 2 hours here, 3 hours there. What was told about the autobiography on that was that if they didn't take it off the laptop, it would have been public knowledge and would have ruined what him and Dan talked about. It's a question that'd probably be more for Dan Piepenbring to be asked than myself. Where am I going when I'm driving around my car on my live Instas? I drive around where I live. I drive to Hollywood. I drive to Santa Monica, to Westwood. Now, do you guys like those? Sometimes I get some things where, like, it seems that people rather just see the streets than see my face on it. But again, that's providing content. And if you see BB Rexa, she's showing off working out. She's showing off her booty. She's showing off other stuff. And all I'm doing is just being in my car. And when am I supposed to talk to you guys and have Instagram lives every day to where you're sick of me? And I think I was supposed to be in one of the studios. That'd be another job for them to answer. I apologize for that. Yeah. Love that. Monitor the chat during the interviews and work on some of the real-time questions. That's what Prince liked when I was doing this show in 2013, because we did a test show in 2012, and he liked that I paid attention to what the fans were asking. Notice when you're interviewing people, looking off to the side to see the chat, someone's wondering if they feel awkward. I need to freaking tell them that before they do the show. By the way, if you see me looking this way, it's because I'm looking at the TV screen for the comments and for stuff to being brought up, instead of just being direct with them where I'm looking at them and doing this. I always forget to do that because there's no comments. And that's the other thing I loved about Spreecast, is that if you guys had questions, like, we'd have you go in the room and ask it before the show, and then I could load it into a freaking thing to have it ready. Like, that's why you people have to, like, ask the questions, and if I don't catch it, it isn't done. There's certain things that I miss about Spreecast that isn't done with this. But when Paisley reopens, it's going to be packed. Well, it is reopened now, Gloria. It just they're practicing social distancing and doing other stuff. So Ginger, did you get your Rainbow Throne poster? Like, they got some new merch that's Music Today stuff. So I don't know about that. I know that it was supposed to go up to the year 2007 with the Super Bowl stuff, but that's how it works out. Yes, after COVID, it's going to be a different world for a while, that people aren't going to be feeling comfortable having a packed place. So, yeah. Yes, and that's what I loved. I loved doing live shows. And in 2016, I did the podcast reluctantly, not because of who I was doing it with, but reluctantly because I missed being able to do shows live. I appreciate the guests that we had and other stuff, but it's like there would be this thing of like finishing the show and then editing it, and it was like I couldn't wait for you guys to hear it. Now you guys have instant gratification and instant satisfaction, you know. So of course it makes it hard to like promote or say hey, try to donate here or donate this. Yeah, the recasts were heaps of fun. Unfortunately, I'd hear about drama from that I had no part of. You know, all I can say for me is I'm pretty professional on everything. And yeah, put the monitor behind the cam. No. I'm gonna be having another. The monitor is behind the. All right, I have the laptop in front of me. Then the monitor is right here, to this side. I'll be having another TV behind me for you guys to be playing visuals. And then if I could learn how to edit or do stuff or have packages when I have guests on. Because again, like I said, I want to show movie trailers. I want to do other stuff for that What's Up Doc show. So try to do more. So yes, I try to get them in real time. I do try to do that for sure. All our lives are really fun. Oh, the Instagram lives or this. And see, I felt with the reason we don't do Instagram live is number one, they have it be towards limited to an hour with you guys. And then I'd have 2 questions. And then, you know, I want to make sure that you guys are being seen. You know, of course, there are times just like with here, there's some questions that I just have to avoid just because I do see it. Maybe I don't want to see it, but it is what it is, you know. Personally, movie buff, I think that they shouldn't have put Kirk in that position and do that interview. And that was one of the things where I was saying, like, look, you know, I would do this stuff and do the media things. I mean, Joel at that time, who was running Paisley, should have done the interview, or Karen. To put Kirk in that position and not to think that, like, look, you saw that I was respectful to Van. You saw what happened with Kirk and it, with him not talking. Like, it makes him look a certain way. But also understand sometimes when people aren't talking, it's trying to protect people, and then it can make stuff. And I brought this up from a situation that happened to me last year. I choose not to talk about something, and there's still people talking about me a year later and spreading lies. And I could put stuff out there, and it isn't a good way to be. So it isn't that you've done anything. It's just that for your soul and for protecting the other person that you love, like Kirk did, it's just a little different. But look, it made him look a certain way. If he talked, he could have made someone look bad, but it made him look bad. So think about that when someone isn't talking and it makes them look bad by not talking. You know, just like with people asking me, why don't you after this? Why don't you go after this? And me trying to say, like, this is what Prince would want. And for me being able to talk to everyone and me to have people on. If I do that, we can't do that. It isn't about him volunteering to say that. He said that because he was putting that thing is like, there's stuff in Kirk's vault you're not going to hear. You know, that's all when it comes to that, you know. So I think certain people were too close to him to be interviewed. And then when they asked awkward questions, they don't speak, the conspiracies start. Yeah. So don't put them in positions to where they're looking a certain way. And that was supposed to be for promotion of the celebration for 2017 at Paisley. Did anyone get that? It was supposed to be for Paisley Park celebration, but it turned into something else because They put him into a position he shouldn't have been in. You know, and that's all about that. Yeah, you're correct, Dave. You're correct on that. But at least they didn't go in front of they weren't put in front of a TV camera. You know. But that's all it comes down to on those things, that, you know, we're never going to know everything. It's just, would Prince want it that way because it's a little mysterious. So, yeah. Every time someone says plead the fifth, I think about the Dave Chappelle skit. So, yeah. Yeah. Let's get on to other things, because we're never going to be satisfied on these things. The objects in the mirror are closer than they appear, right? Let's go to some things. Oh, some messages I guess I missed. So, yeah. Sorry guys, just looking at stuff. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Sorry guys. There we go. That's what I want. Let's see. Because want us to move forward, but I'm going to write that book. All right, Dave. Go for it. And then we can tell Ian's side of stuff too. So, the truth. The truth. So, I don't know about that one. All right, guys. Shall we wrap it up? Should we get other things going on? What am I doing during COVID quarantine? The first part of it was probably about 9 bags of clothes, working on getting 3 rooms situated, turning this office into a set, getting rid of magazines and other things that were clutter, and just having more space. And that's what I meant is like, it was good for my peace and my soul to do those things and just do it. And I've just been constantly busy on other stuff, not working out as much as I want, but I liked working outside, and now people don't know how to practice social distancing. So I lost a little bit of muscle mass over that. So I'm frustrated by it, but you know, and then I get like wounds on my feet if I do workout machines at home that I have. So even though they say that it's harder for you in the streets, I actually prefer that because I don't have as many wounds. Just have to worry about on the LA sidewalks that they're uneven about, like twisting an ankle. But what is normal anymore after COVID? So yeah. Learn the music. So yeah, declutter for sure. Be careful with what, Anna. Just not twisting an ankle, not doing other stuff. So do your thing. And Denise, yeah. Get back to cooking, you know, do the thing sort of like Vanessa. All right. All right, guys. We should wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm sorry I'm not able to answer all your questions. But, you know, if you feel like donating or whatnot, you always can. It always is appreciated, so we can make you the best show possible. and do other things. And yeah, we had it all figured out. And maybe we'll do what's up, Alice? We're signing off. Thank you. But I'll try to do some Instagram lives, I guess, more than my videos. You know, I don't feel comfortable. I'd rather just do 10-second clips and then log off. But yeah, it does its whole thing. Thank you. Hope you guys have been enjoying the interviews I had with people. I look forward to having bigger guests for you and doing other stuff. So where we donate, you go to, let's see. Of course, I don't have it like right offhand, do I? Hold on a second. I'll try to give you guys a link in here if it'll let me. Go to my own website and bring up the PayPal me. Although PayPal, when you donate, they take money from that. Isn't it funny that that's how it goes? Like they get a piece of the pie, but you do the work. So let's see. Copy. This one's like a longer link than whatever, but so let's hope it shows up. And I do have Venmo as well, but whatever. Did it go in? I think it went in, although it's showing for me that it didn't. Probably not. It's probably bent more so than inverted. It wasn't done purposely, but I like having it up there. So it's all good, Ellis. That's what it is on, but glad you can make it. Yeah, I don't know if it gives you that option unless I give you like my PayPal directly. With PayPal, I guess like I can do this, right? Then you do friends or family if I just give you an email. So the PayPal email for this one as well would be that. So I think it'd be Funkenberry, but it's not. So yeah, the link is on the website. The link is there. Thank you. All right, guys. Yes, friends. Yeah. But it's like if I give you guys a direct link or what I did with the first one, what's on the website, it automatically does that. I don't know if you can switch it out. So, all right, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining me, for making me. Because if it wasn't for you guys, there would be no me. And it's 100% true. And I try to do these things for you and not have an agenda for myself, but try to do stuff that'll give people a show for a very, 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 very long time. And I do have a Venmo account. I just don't know offhand how to do it. It may be under that email as well. All right, guys. Much love. I have Zelle too. You hit me up privately for that one. I can figure that out. But thank you guys so much. And can't wait to tell you what guests we have coming on. I've had something of theirs behind me this entire time for the past few weeks, but I have it kind of blocked except for on the Sign of the Times episode. But we'll get it. Much love, everyone. Thank you. Keep it funky. Till next time. Instead of looking at the TV, looking at you guys directly. All right. Much love.